Hey everybody, it's Linda with Constant Van Life. I'm not in a good mood and I hate posting videos when I feel like this, but my little baby boy, Rocky Thaler, who I had for 16 years, crossed the Rainbow Bridge into the spirit world yesterday morning at 6 a.m. He was 16 years old. He lived the best life ever. And I got to tell you, since April, he's had cancer. And the tumor got so big it was pushing against all his organs, and that's how he died. But he died with no pain. I didn't know that he had cancer. They told me he had a collapsed trachea, and I wondered why they gave me so much strong medications and narcotics for him that I actually didn't give him because they weren't for collapsed trachea. But I guess I think not knowing that he only had a few months more to live was the best thing that ever happened to me, because we had so many adventures. We did everything together, and I didn't treat him like he was sick. I let him do everything that he would normally have done. He had a good life. And I know I'm being selfish by saying that I really would love for him to be here with me. But I don't want that he was suffering and in so much pain. You know, he never acted really sick. I mean, I thought maybe his throat was hurting, so I would give him something for his throat hurting and give him his medication so he could breathe properly. But I didn't give him any of the hard narcotics they gave me. And I took him to the vet 2 days ago to see what was wrong, because he wasn't pooping, he wasn't eating. And the vet told me he had cancer. And the cancer was big and spread all over. It makes me sad that they didn't tell me. But it makes me happy too. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know how to feel. 16 years with something that had that much love to give, and that many kisses and that many hugs. And his whole life was dedicated to me and Daisy and Rosie. I know I'm going to miss him, and I do miss him. And I'm trying to be strong for Daisy, because Daisy, that was her husband. And now she's lost her daughter and her husband. And she's sad, very sad. And I don't know what to say, Rosie. Rosie's sad, but I think Rocky told her that she had to duty up and protect me, because she's changed. I don't know what to tell y'all. You know, honestly, I don't think I knew what love was before Rocky. And I didn't know how lucky I was that I had that love. You know, they say everything you take for granted during the day, and for 16 years, I don't know if I took that for granted. But I do know that I tried my hardest to give him the best life. The best snacks, the best treats, the best clothes, the best doctors. You know, I bought this new van because he had a hard time breathing in the old van. And he needed more space and fresh air to go around. So I bought this van for him. When I'm driving, I'm looking in the back mirror, looking for him. I was always checking on him. This is so different than when Lucy died. Lucy came as a shock to me. And her death really changed a lot about my perspective on things. This morning I went to his grave and I was talking to him. And I told him that there'll always be a place in my van for him. And in my heart, that place will always be there. And I know it's selfish that I want him back in body. But I'm so grateful that he's not in pain. The last day of his life, he suffered. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He was acting like he had to poo or he had to pee. So when I took him to the vet, they told me that if he made it through the night the next day, if he ate, that he would be okay. And if he didn't, then I would have to put him down. And I was dreading that. So they gave me a painkiller, and Peter and I gave it to him. And he was comfortable. He just laid on the bed and breathed. And I held him in my arms, and I took him to the river. I kept him on my chest most of the night until he looked uncomfortable, and then I laid him on his pillow beside me in his normal spot. And somewhere around 5:45, he started making noise, so I looked at him. And it looked like he was getting ready to go. So I picked him up and I held him. And I looked at his eyes, his beautiful brown eyes. And I told him, my baby boy, it's time for you to go. I told him, Mama Daisy is fine. You did enough work in your lifetime to support her. She has everything she needs, and she will still continually get everything that she wants. I said, Rosie is okay. Rosie will be on protection duty for a while, but she's okay. And I said, and for me, I'm going to miss you terribly. But you're not going anywhere really, because you're still going to be in my heart. And at 6 o'clock, he looked at me one more time, and his eyes went empty. He stopped breathing. He was gurgling. He died in my arms. And I don't know what else to say, but I just wanted to share with you the best thing that ever happened in my life. The one thing that gave me an endless amount of love. The only thing that stuck around when people would come and go. He's crossed over the Rainbow Bridge and into the spirit world. And I know he's happy there, running around, digging holes, swimming, fishing, hunting, doing the things that he loved so much before he became old and couldn't do it anymore. And this is for my Rocky Thaler, Rocky Benjamin Thaler. He was born January 9th, 2009, on a cold winter day in a barn in London, Ontario. Peter Thaler gave me Rocky for my birthday because I'd lost my son. And I was so empty inside. So one day he told me, why don't you look for a little dog on Facebook or on Kijiji? And I didn't like that idea. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm going to check it out and see what kind of dogs there are out there, because I never really thought about getting a dog at this point. So I saw this one little dog sitting on a chair with his sister. And no matter how many times I went through this page of dogs, and it was thousands, that little dog would show up. And his sister. I wouldn't even be looking for his breed. It would just randomly just show up. So I took that as a sign that that was my little dog right there. So I called, I made an appointment. The next Saturday, Peter drove me to London, Ontario from Elmira, where we used to live. And the minute I saw Rocky, I knew he was mine. He was so spunky, running around, chasing his sister. And then when they brought him in the house, he got busy tearing up a grocery bag, one of those plastic ones. He wanted to murder that bag. I don't know, he didn't like it. And I told myself, that's my Rocky. And I took him right then. On our way home, he rode in my hoodie and in my hair because he was so scared. And that's how it began. Years of loving I gave that boy. Years and years and years. He was just not a dog. He was my son. He was my baby. He was my everything. I just wanted to share a little bit about the most incredible boy, good boy that God ever created. He was so amazing, so full of love. And I hope you tell people his story about how much love he had to give and the things he had done with me. He deserves it. He deserves to be recognized. He deserves for everyone to know that he walked this earth and he was with me. Well, that's all I got to say. Thank you for listening. I don't know about this van life. I need to make more videos for you. And I think this is the last tragedy that I'm going to have for a long time. But I feel that Rocky will be back. I think he's on somewhere visiting his friends, his dog, and Rudy, and his brother Felix, and maybe his mom and dad, and his sisters, his aunt and uncles. Maybe he's having the time of his life right now. But one day he'll be back. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. And, share this video. Like and subscribe. I guess. Love y'all. Later.